In this video, I'm gonna show you one of the best comps this patch, which is Disco Twisted Fate and the Blitzcrank comp. So what you do is you play around Dazzlers and you play around the Disco traits. So the main two units, it's gonna be Blitzcrank as well as Twisted Fate. So one tank and one hyper carry. So, you know, a typical board would look something like this in the late game. So you have Twisted Fate. The best one is gonna be Dazzler, but I'll go over the headliners later. So what you do is you put in, often you put in 4 Dazzlers. So you throw in a Sigs, you have Nami, who's also a Disco, and then, you know, either you have a headliner, a TF, or you put in another Lux for 4 Dazzlers. And you can also throw in a Sona. If you high roll that, you get 3 Spellweaver. If you have a Ginso, it's really good. Basically the best item on her. And other than that, you just put in, you know, Echo, because he gives Sentinel with Blitz. He's just a good tank. We need that. And then you put in Ilaoi for Bruiser, and she's just super broken. And if you just push levels, feel free to put in, you know, just another Disco unit. Because now we're at, 8 units. So you can just throw in Taric here and you get 5 Disco. And this is pretty much the capped board. But this comp is really capped out by 5 costs, like Sigs, Ilaoi and Sona. But you don't hit it every game, I understand that. So I will show you more of a level 8 board that you can play if you don't high roll any 5 cost or if you can't go level 9. So this is another variant of the comp. Let's say you low roll perhaps a Disco headliner. It's not bad, it's just not as good as the Dazzler one. So what you can do is you basically play around the secondary traits that you have. So we have the main trait, which is Disco, right? So what you do is you perhaps have a Taric, you know. He's Disco, but he's also Guardian. So then you can throw in either a Fresh, but perhaps you don't even hit a Fresh, right? You're low rolling that much. In the worst case, you know, you can put in maybe a Sack instead. And it's pretty decent, maybe not as good as Fresh, because you don't have that CC, but it's not bad, right? Because Sack is a bruiser, so works with Gragas as well. Get some more HP and a beefy frontliner. You can still play Echo for the Sentinel. He's just a good tank, good CC. And perhaps you wanna play both Fresh and Sack. You can do that if you want. At level 8, because you can't fit in, you know, 4 Dazzlers that easily. So perhaps you play something like this. And once you are level 9, then you can throw in, you know, Sigs, and then you put in the Lux you have. So then you have 4 Dazzlers, because that's a really big spike, right? But let's talk a bit about the items as well. So I will bring up the stats right here. So basically, as you see here on the average placement of the items, everything is basically pretty much the same on TF, which is not something you see a lot. So what that means is you can pretty much build whatever item you want. It won't make super big of a diff. But if you really want to know the BIS items and items I build on TF, I usually build, let's see, Spear of Sojourn, and I combo that with a Harmacist II, because it's so broken. You can see it's pretty much the only item combo who gives -20 or 0.20% lower placement. The other ones give, like, you know, at best 0.10 or even higher sometimes. But why it's so good is because Shojin just gives a lot of mana, so you cast a lot, and the Nashers, it gives you attack speed after you cast. So you get this really nice combo of casting a lot and you get more attack speed, and that attack speed works to give the Shojin more autos, which is more mana. So it just works really well with those items. And for the last one, I really like Gunblade if you have these item combos, because you can just heal up the front line and you scale pretty good after each cast with the Shojin and the Nashers. So you stay alive for a long time and you're able to ulti loads of times. But if you don't have that, it's fine. Build whatever item. You can build red buff, you can build Morello, you know, UL Gauntlet, pretty much any just raw damage item on him. And when it comes to the other champions, basically you just build tank items on Blitzcrank or Illaoi, Fresh, you know, prioritize Blitz or Illaoi. So they usually, it's pretty good to just have generic tank items. You build whatever you hit right, Warmogs, Heartsteel, whatever right. And and the other thing, you usually find that Ziggs is not that contested. And what he likes is, I really like to have him as my anti-heal, so I put either a red buff on him or I put a Morello. He already has built-in anti-MR, so I usually don't build a Spark or a Shiv because you already have that from his ability. And blue is just really nice because he has so low mana bar. You can basically build the same on TF, but instead of Shojin, you build a blue and Nashers if you have the chance. And then you just build damage, Morello. That's pretty much it. And when it comes to Sona, it's basically the difference between Ziggs and Sona is Sona's high mana bar, so she likes items like Shojin and Ginso. Unlike Ziggs, who has low mana, so you build the blue on him. It just works better. She scales up a lot with Ginso, just attacks infinite. Pretty much the only item I would build on her. Maybe, you know, Shojin or a random adaptive helm for the mana, but that's pretty much the only items I build on Sona. Otherwise I just go for a Ziggs item or tank items. And that's pretty much it for the comp. Is something I want to go over a bit, just so you have that in the back of your mind, is, yeah, so this comp is named Disco, usually, because you play around those units, but it's pretty much a Dazzler comp in my opinion. Like, you can see 0.4% delta on the Disco headliner, but it's 0.6 almost on Dazzler. And it kind of makes a lot of sense because what, you know, Dazzler does, it gives you so much more damage. I can bring it up here. So at 6 and 4, at 4 it's 60% magic damage, and at 6 it's 100% more magic damage, which is just a lot of damage, right? Kind of insane, to be honest. Meanwhile, Disco, it's like at 5, 15% attack speed and 3% max HP. Like, it's not as good as Dazzler, I believe. It's still good, but so that's why I like to go for Dazzler on the TF, and I rather prioritize getting in 4 or maybe even 6 Dazzlers over getting max Disco. So there's some games where I've gone maybe 3 or 4 Disco and then I just go 4 or 6 Dazzlers. It's really good actually. You just need to make sure you have enough frontline if you're gonna do that, because you're gonna have so many backliners. But yeah, let's get on into a game where I show you, you know, how to play the comp. So it's the Champion Duplicator start, which is really good if you're gonna play a level 8 comp, which this is, because you get maybe 1 headliner and that's a 2-star, and then you go for your secondary 4 cost, find 2 copies and just throw on that duplicator and you got 2 stars, which is really big, right? So I'm gonna pick up this Jinx. I like to play her in the early game because you either get Punk, it's better to get Rapid Fire because that's just more combat strength, and I usually never reroll with my Punks anyways because I want to save gold unless I play Punk. But onto this augment, Vampire is really good, Stationary Support is also really good, so I'm gonna reroll Vampirism and the other augment there and take Stationary. This augment's just straight busted if you look at the stats. And right now I have like no direction of what comp I'm playing. I have you know, some ideas, but we don't know that for sure, right? So we're just gonna take that. We'll see what item we get off the support unit later. And yeah, it's all good. So we're gonna buy this Senna unit just for, you know, 2 rapid fire, pretty good. Usually a very strong thing to do in the early game is if you have maybe a Corki or what's she called, Jinx, you get a headliner for one of their traits, and the other one you just put in another unit for that trait. So then they have 2 traits, and the rest you do is just you focus on your front line, and you have a pretty strong early game board, right? So onto this first carousel right here. Excuse me. We're probably looking for a sword or just any combat component really, but most of it got taken right here, so I'm just gonna take this cloak because I'm kinda angling towards playing 8-bit Ribbon this game, or maybe just AD Flex, we will see. But we already have an Even Shroud, so we could play Ribbon, you know. So you might ask, how did I end up playing, you know, a disco board when I'm building a Even Shroud? That's kind of weird, right? But pretty much how I played around disco is I only play it if I, you know, have a really good spot for it. I hit it very easily. Like I see a sign that, okay, this is just a disco game, right? Because I don't like forcing the comp. It has like the highest play rate in the entire game. Sure, it has like one of the lowest average placements, really good top 4 rate and all of that. But I mean, if you are contested, it's never gonna go good usually, right? So I usually just play it if, you know, I have a really good spot for it. So even though I was angling Riven 8-bit here, you will see pretty soon why I decided to play disco. So I have basically played this comp. Yeah, I basically have never gotten below a top 4 on this comp because I only play it when I have a really good spot for it. I never force it, actually. So we're just gonna pick up Heartsteel here. I feel like we had a pretty good early game, but yeah, I'm down to keep playing Heartsteel because we're not that strong, honestly. We don't have slammed any items. So if I lose, I might as well get some Heartsteel losses so we get some econ going. So Vampirism is really good. Use of the Fallen is pretty good as well. I don't like Pandora's unless it's the first augment, because then you lose value from it and it's kind of hard to roll items in the game because yeah, it works in the early game because you don't take as much damage, but if you're gonna roll components in stage 3, 4, 5, you're gonna take so much damage. So I don't like Pandora's then. So we're just gonna take Vampirism. Is always, or not always, but pretty much always a good augment to take. Free stats, you know, healing. And I'd rather just cash out here. We're not gonna risk it for the biscuit, unfortunately. I just wanna save HP and get out of Heartsteel as soon as I build up my econ and all of that, right? So we're gonna put in this random Ergot for now for Mosher. And stay above 50 gold. And this guy has a really strong frontliner right here, Bramble Nasher, so probably not getting through that anytime. And it's on an Echo as well, so with true damage he's just gonna heal up everything and get infinite shields. But it's all good. We're chilling. So onto this carousel. That's a nice set right here. Couldn't get it though. So we're just gonna take this Riven for... Or sorry, we're gonna take the looks for her component because that's Quicksilver for Riven. But then I just get this Giga shop right here with you know, TF and Blitzcrank. So yeah, we're just gonna pick up those units and start building towards that comp, right? Because if we hit it this early, I mean, we kind of just have to play it right. I haven't slammed any items really, so it's a really good spot for it, honestly. Even though we're contested, it's one of the few spots I'm down to just contest this guy. No worries. So what you want to do in the comp is, since you're playing around TF, 5 costs and the Blitz, you need to go level 8, right? So you're gonna have to play a headliner and then sell him before you go level 8. And now we also got our stationary support here, and we got Randuins, which is really good. We're just gonna have to make sure we get some good positioning, so we get both, you know, disco value as well as Randuin's value on our tanks, and that's gonna be really good. So I decided to slam Jewel Gauntlet, pretty decent item on TF, all around, just flat damage, why not, right? So you can see he already does a lot of damage, no headliner, you know, he has no traits right here, so he's gonna pop off pretty soon. So we're just building up the team here so we know what units we're gonna roll down for at level 8, something I recommend so you don't accidentally miss something. You never know, right, when you're gonna roll fast. So now I know exactly what to roll for. So we could go level 8 here if we want, but I'm gonna greed it a bit. You know, it might look like I'm in a bad spot here, but I'm actually chilling, honestly. I have a really high cap. We have played Heartsteel, we have played, you know, the stationary support, which scales to the late game, so I have sacrificed a lot of HP here for board strength and econ, so the only chance we have this game is that we Giga Spike at level 8 with a board that just stabilizes us infinitely, and we make a comeback from there. So we just gotta have to trust the process and, you know, be comfortable at being low HP. But we gotta make sure we're not too low HP, because then we're just gonna die, you know, if we get some unlucky fights. So Capricious Forge, we could take that, it's pretty decent, but we have a lot of items to slam still, so I'm gonna roll that. Tons of stats is also good, you know, but since I have Vampirism, I probably will take Harmacist for the just for the damage, because Vampirism gives you healing and Harmacist turns healing into damage, so it's pretty nice combo. I'm gonna put in 4 Sentinel, probably the last round I play around, or before I go 8. So what I decided to do is, yeah, since I looked at the augment so long, I didn't even go 8 because I wouldn't have time to roll down. Gotta know my limits, you know. Decided to reforge that Event Shroud. So it was really good that I have a reforger there. Kinda saved me a lot, because yeah, we have no need for Shred or Sunder in this comp. We have basically no AD, right? So take our last loss right here. Now we're gonna sell our headliner. We're gonna level up and start rolling for our units and just pray we hit. So here goes the roll down. Boom, putting in that for now. And yeah, this blitz is pretty decent, honestly. And I decided to hold the blitz copies. And I was like, okay, we're contested on blitz, so we're never gonna get a blitz free. Yeah, it's not happening when we're contested, right? So I'm just gonna duplicate him to put in a double blitz tank. Really good with Randuins and the disco. It's gonna have infinite tankiness. So now we use turbo stable, honestly. So this is basically where we just hit a freaking blitz free by accident, man. It's kinda crazy, but you will see that soon enough. So the thing you usually do is, you know, you save your duplicator for the last units, because there's less units in the pool, and then you want to use the duplicator at last because it's hardest to find the blitz there. But you know, I hadn't thought about freestarring him. I just got it by accident. You will see that pretty soon. So TF is just yeah, it's just gonna demolish everyone here. Holy, unit is cracked, man. Yeah, actually broken. So this guy is playing, yeah, like Zed carry. Yeah, the EDM comp is kinda dead, I feel like. So we're gonna buy that Nami as well. Very important if we're gonna hit forward Dazzler, right? So now we're getting out of this temporary Sentinel we played. We're just gonna play 2 Sentinel instead. And very luckily we have a 6 here, so at level 9 we can put in 4 Dazzlers, and that's a pretty big spike actually. Yeah, this guy is even playing the Riven comp, you know. I went over that in my last video, and as you know, that comp is really broken, but he just got slaughtered here. Yeah, we actually got a lucky zone as well, so can be good if we get some sort of mana item on her, right? So I actually I'm not sure what Zona is the best one. I would guess it's not attack speed because they nerfed that this patch. Also, you already have a lot of attack speed from Disco, so I would guess it's like healing or AP. But maybe the attack speed one is just still so broken that you just take it. So here we have a lot of components. We're never building Bloodthirster, so we're gonna have to slam a Declaw there. And we have to slam a Giant Slayer. And the last one, we don't have good options really, so I'm just gonna take a Gunblade. It's not too bad. Pretty good that we got it before the Akali matchup, so we don't get one shot by her. Now we just got second shotted, I guess, but better than first shotted at least. So yeah, I rather have my TF on, you know, not in the corner, but on the X right next to the corner, just so he doesn't get one shot by Akali. I feel like he's more important than a Ziggs actually. We should probably have put Zona though in the corner spot, because yeah, she can die. I don't really care that much, honestly. So we're contested by this guy. He's actually itemizing Lux here. I guess Lux is just item holder for Zona. I would guess that's why he's putting those items on her, because you don't really want to carry Lux in this comp, but you can itemize her and sell her for Ziggs and Zona if you want to do that. So this guy has a pretty strong country board, so let's see if we can beat it. But he has some pretty awkward items on Samira, so yeah, it's gonna be a pretty easy win. As you know, you need just full crit on Samira. He had like Gunblade and stuff, so she's not gonna do any damage, even though she's headliner and all of that. So I'm down to just take this 6, get closer to a 2-star, would be really good. But it got taken, unfortunately. But we don't have any anti-heal, so this Morel is gonna be really good. We're gonna put that on Ziggs, because his ultimate spreads out on a lot of different units. So we get that anti-heal on a lot of guys, you know. And they actually buffed Morello as well. It gives like attack speed now and stuff, so it's really good in this comp, right? I feel like I almost like never build Morello, because it's kind of hard to get on a unit, so it procs on multiple people, but it's really good on like Ziggs, right? Low mana, cast early, get it off often. Good, you know, get some AP, some attack speed. Pretty nice, right? So this guy is playing the Pentakill board. Thank God, man, I have Vampirism and Harmacist. Otherwise my TF would be one shot right there. Holy, came in clutch right there. Yeah, I feel like usually it's best to put like healing augments if you're playing a melee comp, but honestly this set you're facing Cardis, you're facing Akali, so much, you know, random backline access and just stuff like that, so that's why it's good to have like Harmacist on, even if you're playing like backline carries, so they can heal up if they get targeted right. So I decided to change my TF to this Hex, probably won me the fight. Akali hasn't gotten him even once. Yeah, and he's basically all my damage, so don't forget to scout, guys. That's the power of positioning. And onto this dragon right here. I mean, I'm down for some tank items, man. I'm down to just itemize both the blitzes, if we can, you know. First we're gonna roll down, we're never going 10, right? So just rolling it down, and somehow I'm just finding this blitz, man, so I'm gonna pick him up. Problem is the other guy is playing blitz as well, so that's kinda sad. So we're gonna take Adaptive Helm here for Zona, pretty much the only thing that was takeable, I feel like. some free mana, get her to cast once per fight at least, you know. And yeah, so you know, this guy has 1 blitz, I have 8. I don't know exactly how many 4-cost are in the pool. Is it 12? I think it's 12. Not 100% though. So if it's 12, it's gonna be like 3. Yeah, it's 3 blitz left. And all other people are pretty much dead, so they're not holding any 4-cost. So it's gonna be really hard to hit this last blitz. But who knows? Maybe we just get it randomly off a carousel, right? You never know. So yeah, it's just this Samira doesn't have a IE, so it doesn't do enough damage. Especially, I have a Bramble Vest, so much armor, you know. So she's just gonna get destroyed right there. But that was a clone, so now we're against a real guy. Maybe this is a bit stronger. Nah, I think we're chilling here. Even Lux is like one-shotting, man. Poor Dazzler is so broken. Holy. A random Lux without items doing that much damage. Kinda crazy. It was actually kinda close though. Unlucky this guy didn't hit, you know, better items. So onto this carousel. And yeah, I don't even care that I already have anti-heal on Morello. Yeah, this is just a free blitz 3-star. Holy, man. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Blitz free, baby. So that makes us be able to play full disco as well. Now we don't play double blitz. And yeah, this unit is honestly, is this unit the best 4-cost 3-star? Like, it's actually crazy. So full tank items. You just have to wait to see this man's damage. You know, it might be a tank, but yeah, this he actually does more than Twisted Fate. Look at that. Yeah, can you even call him a tank anymore if he deals more than a 4 Dazzler, 6 Disco, TF2 with 3 items? Yeah, I don't know. This Blitz does everything. Giga tank, giga damage. Just broken, honestly. So yeah, I was a bit. I'm happy that the other guy didn't scout me. You know, if he scouted me and he saw 8 blitz, he could have taken it before me on the carousel. But they kind of just let me get the 3-star, so I'm happy. So on to the last fight right here. I'm just gonna take a redemption to my soul knives to make my backline stay alive. I don't know, why not? Do it for fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more TFT Set 10 content. And I'll keep sure to keep pumping these videos out. And yeah, peace out everybody. Ciao.